The world lay in ruins, broken by the weight of humanity's sins and the relentless machinations of hell. The apostles, once scattered and uncertain, now worked together to mend the shattered pieces. Chris, their natural leader, carried the burden of his past mistakes. Finn, the steadfast, gave his all to protect the weak. Even John, soulless yet resolute, found his purpose in action. Together, they became a symbol of resilience, though the world doubted their intentions. But as the apostles tried to heal, hell's grip tightened. Demons thrived on the misery, preying on the desperate and broken, offering false hope in exchange for eternal damnation. People, exhausted by endless suffering, succumbed in droves, signing contracts with shaking hands, tears falling as they whispered, "What choice do I have?" Eleanor fought alongside the apostles, her body battered, her spirit unyielding. Her hands were calloused from countless battles, and her once bright eyes carried the weight of every soul she couldn't save. The apostles were strong, but they were losing. For every demon they struck down, 2 more rose from the ashes. Their enemies seemed infinite. Then, something changed. It began with whispers. In the ruins of a decimated city, a man walked among the wreckage. He didn't shout or proclaim his presence, but his actions spoke louder than words. The sick were healed with a touch. The hungry found bread in their empty hands. The dead rose, their lifeless eyes blinking in astonishment as they drew breath once more. People claimed to have seen him but couldn't describe him. He was just a man, they said. Nothing extraordinary, but when he touched me, I felt whole again. The apostles were divided. Chris, haunted by his own brief rise to power, clenched his fists. What if it's another trick? Another lie? Eleanor placed a steady hand on his shoulder. And what if it isn't? We have to find him, Chris. If there's even a chance. Finn nodded. Hope is all we've got left. We need to believe. Their search was interrupted by an intruder. She came to them in the dead of night, her voice soft and seductive. She was beautiful beyond words, her presence intoxicating. To Chris, she whispered promises of redemption. You could lead them, you know. Be the one they need. God has failed them, but you haven't. Take the mantle, Chris. Be their savior. To Finn, she offered visions of a perfect world. Imagine a land free of suffering. A kingdom where you are king, where no child ever cries again. I can give you that. To John, she spoke of what he lacked. A soul, John. Don't you wonder what it feels like? To love, to hope, I can make you whole. When she turned to Eleanor, her tone shifted, mocking yet sweet. You've given everything, haven't you? And for what? Look at the world. It's still broken, but it doesn't have to be. I can take away your pain. Your guilt. Wouldn't that be nice? Eleanor met her gaze, unflinching. You can't tempt me, the woman smirked, stepping back. Her form began to shift, her beauty melting into something monstrous. Horns sprouted from her head, her eyes burned black, and her smile stretched too wide. I am no mere tempter, she snarled. I am the devil, and your fight is over. The devil revealed her true purpose. The 13th child isn't a child at all. He is Christ himself, and now that you've gathered your little apostles, my job is done. He will come to me willingly, and I will end this charade once and for all. The apostles recoiled in shock. Chris stepped forward. You're lying, the devil laughed. Am I? Your Christ hides among the ruins, healing the broken, but for how long? You think this is salvation? It's a trap. Just like you, Chris. Turning to Eleanor, the devil's tone softened, her words laced with venomous kindness. You've suffered so much, but I can end it. Your husband waits in the pit, tormented because of his weakness. Your grandfather and children are in paradise, waiting for you. All I ask is your soul. Just your soul, Eleanor. One life for countless others. It's fair, isn't it? Eleanor hesitated. Her heart ached at the thought of her family. Of David, broken and lost. Of her children, taken too soon. But then she looked at the apostles, at their bruised faces and trembling hands. No, she said firmly. I won't abandon them. The devil's smile faltered, and her eyes darkened. Then they will die, all of them. Their blood will be on your hands. Eleanor's voice wavered. If it saves them, then take me. I'll go to the pit. The ground split open beneath her, and Eleanor fell into darkness.